From Millie trying to shake off being 11 from Stranger Things, to how Damsel could change the young star's acting trajectory for better or for worse, will Damsel change Millie Bobby Brown's career for the better? Or will it ruin everything the young stars worked so hard to achieve? Show of hands. Who here first started recognizing Millie as that girl from Stranger Things? To be fair, Millie did a fantastic job. The 19-year-old gained recognition for her starring role as 11, the pivotal character on the show. Now, the British actress did have a career before starring in Stranger Things. She was cast as young Alice on Once Upon a Time in Wonderland and made several guest appearances on popular shows such as NCIS and Modern Family. Being the star of a popular Netflix show is something most young actors can only dream of. Here Millie was, at just 12 years old, giving interviews, accepting awards, and building a whole career for herself. It was fun until it wasn't. Rumors soon started floating around that Millie wanted a break from being 11. Some reports even suggested that she was happy Stranger Things was finally coming to an end with Season 5. The show that made Millie into the star that she is will be coming to an end soon. It served its purpose and made the actress an overnight sensation. She's since gone on to bag several other roles, most notably as Enola Holmes in the Sherlock Holmes franchise. One good role on a critically acclaimed show is all that it takes to propel your career. Studios saw what Millie was capable of on Stranger Things and offered her several roles. Besides starring as Enola Holmes, she's also reprised the role of Madison Russell on Godzilla. That's about it, actually. It might come as a surprise to the people who had Millie down as the new big thing. The truth is that the actress just hasn't been a part of as many major productions as everyone had hoped. Scheduling conflicts would be a straightforward explanation. Stranger Things is a mega production, and filming covers most of the year. Millie can't just up and leave her role as 11, can she? That's also another way to explain why she hasn't been a part of any major productions since breaking out in 2016. She can't just leave her role as 11 behind. Are you familiar with typecasting? It's the sort of thing that has Tom Cruise always playing the role of an action hero, John Wayne as someone from the Wild West, and Adam Sandler as, well, Adam Sandler. People started associating you with that one popular character that catapulted you to mainstream stardom. For Millie, that character would be 11. Fans who've literally watched her grow up right before their eyes can't imagine her in any other role besides an otherworldly superhero. That unfortunately doesn't bode well for a 19-year-old actress trying to bag more roles in an already competitive industry. Millie's since realized the drawbacks of being a part of a popular franchise, and she's been hinting at wanting a break for a while now. In an interview with 17, the actress opened up and talked about how she was ready to say goodbye to 11. She said that she'll always be grateful for Stranger Things, but it was time to put a period in place and move on. Stranger Things fans, however, aren't ready to say goodbye just yet. The final season of the show is currently in the works, but won't debut until 2025. That's a long time to wait. Factor in that Season 5 is where it all ends, and fans are understandably quite emotional. They've since come to accept that maybe Stranger Things should end. Now, they want some of the stars to reprise their roles for possible spin-offs. Of course, 11 would be at the helm of these new shows. In other words, everyone's hoping Millie will dedicate her entire career to being 11. As of right now, the Duffer Brothers haven't announced any plans for a spin-off. The cast members have shot down the idea of the Stranger Things universe expanding, and Millie has made it clear that her time as 11 is up. Everyone just has to accept the facts now. In their defense, Millie's realistically only ever been 11. Sure, she's played Enola Holmes and Madison Russell too. Still, those roles are nothing compared to what she achieved on Stranger Things. Audiences realistically still think of her as 11. That's honestly quite damaging for her career. So what's Millie gonna do to get out of the Stranger Things slump? Starring as Princess Elodie, a character pulls apart from 11, of course. Get ready to stream Millie's latest movie, Damsel, on Netflix on March 8, 2024. Juan Carlos Fresnadillo announced he was set to direct the fantasy thriller sometime in 2020. Dan Mazzou, the man behind the script, while Joe Roth and Jeff Kirschenbaum are producing the movie. Also joining the guys behind the screen as executive producers is Millie Bobby Brown. That's right, not only is the British actress starring in the lead role, but Damsel will double as her first film as an executive producer. So what's the movie about? Picture this. A young damsel believes that she's the luckiest girl in the world when the prince asks her to be his bride. It's a grand affair, and Elodie effectively becomes the princess. Everything seems to be perfect. The keyword here, though, is seems. The royal family soon discloses their hidden agenda. Elodie's meant to be sacrificed to settle an ancient debt. The newly crowned princess is uprooted from the fancy castle and thrown into a cave. There, she realizes that she's not the only one in the pitch-black darkness. Relying on nothing more than her wits and will, Elodie has to find a way to save her life, go back to the castle and get back what was taken from her. Will she be able to do it? We'll have to find out when Netflix releases Damsel in March 2024. You have to admit that the plot sounds interesting. Plus, everyone's itching to see Millie as Princess Elodie. 11 had always been part of a crew. In every season, she had to rely on her friends and those she loved to help her face the enemy of the season. Sure, she was the most powerful one on the show, but she was never alone. Princess Elodie, on the other hand, will be all alone. It's a different role than what Millie's used to, and she's excited for it. Some fans, however, aren't holding on to much hope for Damsel. Redditors are wondering if Damsel is the right move for Millie. They're not sure she can carry out a big-budget production all by herself. The movie has a budget of $60 million. That's a pretty penny. Now, you might be thinking about Enola Holmes right about now. It was also a big-budget production when Millie was at the helm. However, she also had a stellar supporting cast. Castmates such as Louis Partridge, Henry Cavill, Sam Claflin, and Fiona Shaw had several roles on their resumes. Millie did shine, but you have to agree she had a great cast to pick up the slack for her first major production. That's apparently not the case with Damsel, and fans are worried. A few Redditors made their predictions based on the trailer. They pointed out that Millie's acting felt sloppy. She practically grew up on the set of Stranger Things and got used to the role. Enola Holmes, as some of the critics pointed out, was a relatively easy, feel-good role. Basically, it was hard to mess up. Again, that's not the case with Damsel. Millie has to practically carry the film. She's in the starring role, and the entire plot revolves around her. What if that's too much for the young actress to handle all at once? Millie has probably gone over every naysayer's comment. She has access to the best acting coaches in town. It wouldn't be fair to say that she hasn't given Damsel her all. She really can't afford to have the film tank. For one, it's a mega project, and for two, it'll set the trajectory for the rest of her career. Right now, Damsel will show everyone Millie's acting chops, and if she's ready to move away from being 11. If she fails to deliver as Princess Elodie, it'll take a long time for Millie to prove to audiences that she's a versatile actress. A few Redditors also provided a controversial take. Netflix is trying to cash in on Millie's star power from Stranger Things. It worked with Enola Holmes, and now they're hoping it'll work with Damsel. If it doesn't though, then who's to say Netflix won't move on to the next kid from Stranger Things? It'll also be hard for Millie to prove to studios that she has what it takes if Damsel doesn't do well. All in all, there's a lot riding on this, and it's not exactly like Millie can go back and change parts of the film now. Damsel was originally scheduled for release in October 2023. The release date conflicted with the SAG strikes, and Netflix had to put Damsel, as well as several productions, on hold. Filming is done and over. Now we'll just have to see what Millie's come up with as the lead and executive producer of the fantasy thriller. Fingers crossed. So, will Damsel change the young star's acting trajectory and free her from the stereotypes brought about by her character 11? I guess we will find out soon enough. That was everything about how Damsel might change Millie Bobby Brown's career.